Nearly 2 million American workers suffer musculoskeletal disorders because of the way they use their bodies at work. From pinched nerves and strained muscles to inflamed tendons and sore necks. Musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs, come from stressing your body beyond its ability to recover. We used to think these kinds of problems affected only people who do heavy manual work. But today, we know that MSDs can strike anyone, even people who work in offices. It's your move.
In the next few minutes, we're going to look at musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs, and what you can do to prevent them. We'll explore the signs and symptoms of MSDs, how you can recognize MSD risk factors, some ways to prevent MSDs, and how protecting yourself while you work benefits both you and your employer. MSDs come from placing excessive physical stress on your body. The stress can involve muscles, nerves, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, joints, or spinal discs. Often adjusting the way you work removes the stress and takes care of the problem. To protect yourself, look for signs that you might be developing an MSD, such as decreased range of motion. This means that some part of your body won't move as far or as easily as it used to. Deformity also can signal that your body is under stress. Watch for swelling, redness, or loss of color. Decreased grip strength is another sign. You might find you can't hold on to things as well as in the past, or that grasping a tool is uncomfortable. You also may experience loss of function. Your fingers won't move on command, or you have trouble keeping your balance. If you develop any of these signs of an MSD, tell your employer immediately. An evaluation can help discover the source of the problem and get it corrected. Whether it's something you're doing at work or at home, staying alert to the signs of an MSD is one of the best ways to protect yourself. The symptoms of an MSD usually develop gradually. If you have muscle fatigue or pain that disappears with rest, it could be a symptom of an MSD. Other symptoms include numbness, burning, pain, tingling, cramping, or stiffness. A typical scenario is a small amount of tingling that stops when you stop the activity that causes it. Later on, the tingling continues after you stop the activity. Then, the tingling progresses to numbness that makes the activity very difficult. And finally, pain becomes so severe that you can't perform the task at all.
Reporting symptoms early can lead to changes in your work and activities, which may keep the problem from progressing.
Anytime you feel discomfort that might be related to your work, report it immediately so the cause can be evaluated. Be ready with the following information. What signs or symptoms are you having? For how long? Why are you having trouble performing your work because of these? What do you think is the cause? What would correct the problem? What are your on-the-job and off-the-job activities that involve the affected body part?
A big part of MSD prevention is identifying the kinds of activities that are associated with MSDs. Once you know these risk factors, you and your employer can work together to reduce or eliminate the risks by changing the way you work.
Common risk factors lead to MSDs. Force, such as lifting, pushing, pulling, or any forceful or dynamic motion. Repetition, performing the same motion over and over. Awkward postures, holding your body in a stressful, unnatural position. Static postures, holding your body in the same position for a long time. Contact stress, pressing some part of your body against an object like the edge of the desk or a tool like a stapler, scissors, or telephone. Tasks with multiple risk factors are more likely to cause or contribute to MSDs. If you do a risky task frequently or for a long period of time, you also increase the risk of developing an MSD. Employees and employers work together to identify risk factors. Once identified, changes are implemented to reduce the risk of MSDs. Your employer may set up administrative controls, changes in the way your work is assigned or scheduled. They include job rotation, alternating tasks, expanding the work to vary your physical activities, and adding mini breaks.
Another option for reducing MSD risks is one you're likely to see almost everywhere. These are called engineering controls, physical changes to a job that remove or reduce the risk factors that can cause an MSD.
The most common engineering controls involve changing or redesigning your workstation or tools. Using the principles of ergonomics, the science of fitting jobs to people, these changes reduce force, repetition, awkward postures, and other risk factors for developing an MSD. Although each work situation is different, you are likely to see certain kinds of ergonomic equipment if you work in an office. The most common are adjustable chairs and work tables. Using a variety of controls, you move and adjust them to fit your body. When you know how your chair and workstation operate, you can set them up right and then change them as your tasks change during the day. For some jobs, a sit-stand stool allows you to rest your behind on the seat and take the load off your hips, knees, and ankles. Some workstations let employees sit or stand in the center of a U-shaped workstation. Others use a workstation unit that adjusts for each employee who uses it. Whatever your workstation and seating, always adjust them to keep your muscles relaxed and in a neutral position as much as possible. Your goal is to prevent awkward and static postures. Anytime a position feels stressful or awkward, look for a more comfortable one. As you use a keyboard, your arms should hang comfortably from your shoulders and close to your sides. Bend your arms at a right angle at your elbows. Avoid postures that raise your shoulders or bend your neck either forward or backward. If your keyboard is at the right height, your arms and shoulders will be loose and relaxed when you use it. Work with your hands in a straight line with your forearms so you don't bend your wrists. Working with your wrists extended or flexed, either up or down, increases your risk of developing tendinitis or carpal tunnel syndrome, a painful compression of the nerves that pass through the wrist. Your keyboard tray should be long enough to allow you to place your mouse on it. Many people find that wrist rests in front of their keyboard and mouse add to their comfort. Placing the mouse on a firm surface also helps to reduce the force needed to control it. Also, consider setting your mouse to fast speed to minimize the movement needed. When keying, don't rest your hands on the edge of the keyboard. Be sure your wrist rest is soft. Some newer wrist rests are gel-filled and provide a neutral place for your wrist. If you find a traditional keyboard uncomfortable, many other options are available. And the same goes for your mouse. There are trackballs and even joystick types. As you do your daily work, pay attention to how you hold and move your body. When working from a document, use a document holder to make it easier to sit facing forward and to keep from bending and twisting your neck to see the document. Placing a document flat on your desk results in excess neck strain when you twist and bend your head to see it. As you sit at a video display terminal, the top of the screen should be at or just below eye level. This way, you don't tilt your head, nor should you hunch down or force your neck forward to see the screen. Awkward postures are signs that your chair, your workstation, and the distance to your monitor should be adjusted. A variety of stands and monitor supports are available. Many adjust easily and are especially useful if you share your workstation with other employees.
Computer work is a very demanding visual task. Our eyes change, so it's important to have regular vision checkups. Headaches and blurred vision may indicate it's time to visit your eye doctor again.
During the visit, mention that you spend a lot of time in front of a computer. He or she may recommend special computer glasses. Most people are comfortable with the computer monitor at arm's length and the top slightly less than eye height. But bifocal or trifocal wearers may need to place the monitor lower than eye level to keep the entire screen in focus. Pay attention to glare. If you can't see without tilting your head and neck, check the lighting or close blinds to reduce glare. Glare reduction screens also can help to cut glare and reduce eye strain. Finally, rest your eyes regularly. Focus at a distance if you've been keying for a while. A few deep winks will relax eye muscles as well. As for lighting, your office should be about as bright as your VDT screen. Task lighting adds light where it's needed, on the document, not on the screen. A lumbar support placed in the natural curve of your lower back will ease back strain. Placing the lumbar support higher forces awkward posture. When you adjust your chair, set the seat height to keep your thighs parallel to the floor or sloping slightly downward. Your feet should be flat on the floor. Never let your legs dangle. Use a footrest if you can't lower your workstation. On your work surface, keep the phone and other things that you use frequently within easy reach. This helps you avoid long reaches that take far more force than work done near your body. Before you begin a task, plan ahead so you can bring the work to you instead of moving your body to the work. Try to perform your most common tasks close to your body and near waist level. Store items you use all the time no higher than your shoulders and no lower than your thighs. Don't keep them on high shelves or in low cabinets. When you need an item that is too high, use a ladder or a step stool. If it's at a low level, drop to one knee to pick it up. Move it close to your body and stand. Avoid bending at the waist to retrieve items from low shelves or drawers.
Think and plan before you do any task that requires force. Get help to move heavy items or break the load into smaller parts. Be sure to empty shelves and furniture before you try to move them. Better yet, save this kind of work for people who are trained to do it safely.
When you must lift, lift properly. Keep the item close to your body. Bend your knees and lift with your leg muscles. Learn to use tools and assistive devices to help you do your work. If you pack boxes, do it at waist level. Use a cart to transport files or other heavy items.
As your awareness increases, you'll be able to protect yourself more effectively. You'll even start to notice the tasks that place excess stress on your body.
You'll learn that it's not good to use your hand as a hammer. If you need to repeatedly pound a stapler or a hole punch, find an easier way to do it. You'll learn that the more physical effort a task takes, the more stressful it is for your body. You'll learn that cradling the phone between your head and your shoulder is bad for your neck, and that leaning your arm or elbow on the edge of your desk can stress nerves and muscles.
Perhaps most important of all, your awareness will help you devise better, less stressful ways of doing your job.
In general, you and your employer can find simple, inexpensive solutions to successfully fit your work to your body. For you, making changes to bring ergonomic planning to your job will seem different at first. You may have to learn to adjust and use new equipment. Your work may be slower or seem awkward while you learn a new way of doing things. But the benefits are many. Employees report greater job satisfaction and less stress when they are physically comfortable doing their jobs. Learn the signs and symptoms of MSDs, and if you feel discomfort, report it promptly. Be aware of the risk factors for MSDs and work with your employer to control them. And be ready to accept new equipment and work practices aimed at preventing MSDs.
Your commitment and support can help prevent musculoskeletal disorders. Without it, no amount of ergonomic equipment can protect you. It's your move.